Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Weekend has come again and it's Friday. It's cold. It's cold in the shade. It's in the 30s, but the sun is out. It's beautiful. Today I thought I would I've been trying to work on this after work at night, but it's getting dark by 6. So I've been doing a little bit. I decided to dedicate today to doing this. And when I say doing this 60, I got a few things for it. I got some genuine Toyota mirrors, right? But these mirrors are for a 70 series, which isn't sold in the United States. Because the mirrors that are on this thing, they're junk. They're definitely aftermarket. It's got a little gasket. And the mirrors look like this. I know it's a little dark, but look, can you see yourselves? So, mirrors. Genuine Toyota. I don't know where they ordered them from, but maybe throwing on some mirrors. I got new seats for it. I did actually test fit the driver's seat as in. I didn't really want to throw the passenger seat in yet because I also got a carpet kit for it. Now, I opted for the cheap route. The really good carpet kit for this, custom made everything, like the shapes, the holes, everything was like $1,300. And I found one on Amazon for like $275, something like that. Well, I opened it up. It's crap. It's bad. It's bad quality carpet, thin, runners everywhere. Like they didn't finish the sewing right. No holes. That's really one of the pain in the butt things with carpet. No holes to line everything up. I laid down in the back. Yeah, it's just bad. But you know what? I thought, I'll just go with this for now. Don't know where we're at on this thing as far as how in depth we want to get with the really, really good stuff. Mechanically, I want this thing super sound. So the things I'm focusing on right now are the gas tank and the power steering. I think I got the power steering leak stopped, at least for now. It's not leaking while just sitting there, which is what it was doing before. Now, I haven't driven it around, heated it up, and cycled it, so that still is kind of up in the air, but the gas tank's bad. I drained it. I pumped out the gas. I drained it. It's windy. I think my mirrors just fell. The only thing I could think of doing here is I pumped it out. I took out all the gas. I put in water. I put in degreaser. And you didn't fill it all the way up, because what happens is as you start to fill it, the stuff floats on the top, right? The debris that I'm trying to get out of there. So I would fill it up and leaving the drain hole open the whole time. And then it would drain out with the water. And then if a bigger piece got on there, I had this, little poker. I would just hit it. The stuff would break up. It's definitely like dried, tarred up old fuel. But it's worse than I thought, because there's a lot like stuck down in there. So I had the flashlight in there, I had my long screwdriver, and I actually just kind of like, brushed the bottom and brought up a bunch of it. So I got a ton of it out. I just kept rinsing for about 2 hours. I would fill it up, and again, watch the swirling water drain out and seeing the debris from the top floating down with it. But it's going to be a work in progress. It remains to be seen whether I finally give up and get a new aftermarket tank, which is very expensive. But more than the cost of that is that it's going to get rid of my my tire carrier under there. You got to take out that cross member that holds your spare. And I have no intention of putting on a tire carrier. Look, I don't have a tire carrier on the Lexus. I don't have a tire carrier on the 80. The only thing I have a tire carrier on is the Jeep. And that's because, well, it's a 37-inch tire, but it's designed with a turnbuckle that is, you just open the rear hatch, the tire swings with it. You know, when I'm out doing my adventures, I'm in and out of the back all the time, and having to move that, I think, would be just, you know, a pain in the butt. So I don't want to do that. I'm out by, whenever I'm feeling down, I gotta get out here and hang out with the 80. So, well, real quick, what I got here is, I got some parts from Sherpa. This is a traction board mount. I think this one is specifically for MaxTrax. And then this is like a Quick Fist mount. So Quick Fist is kind of like these. Yeah, I say kind of. It's kind of like those. I don't know where. I have some somewhere. It's kind of like those. So Quick Fist is like a rubber thing like this. Actually, I think they're still mounted on the old bar. Yeah, here they are. These are the old bars that used to be on the Lexus. So it's rubber. That's a Quick Fist. So I got a Quick Fist mount. I've got traction board mounts, and I bought just a couple, I think 10 or 12 of their little, these are the T-bolts. These are the bolts that go down into the tracks on the Sherpa rack. Well, I went out, you guys saw me go out last weekend, do a steak sandwich. Well, I do have a shovel here. Just like this one. It's a metal shovel, Cobalt from Lowe's. And this one stays on the 80. And you can see I've got 4 MaxTrax up here mounted, and this all stays on here. This thing stays like expedition ready. There's nothing on the Lexus. Now, I used to carry a shovel and some traction boards on the old. I had these crossbars, like where I showed you that Quick Fist. They just bolted up to the factory kind of plastic and metal roof thing that was up there. When I took that off to get it wrapped, I opted for this Sherpa rack, which is pretty cool. I like it because it makes everything look flat. The other bars, they were short. They didn't come all the way up past the sunroof, so it kind of looked goofy. Anyway, when I was out there and it was in the snow, I'm like, you know, I didn't bring a full-size shovel, and I don't have my traction boards with me. So maybe I need to do something. Sherpa's having Black Friday sale already, so I got these for like 25-30% off. I think I spent on all that stuff, right, I don't know, it was $100, something like that. So it's not too bad. Now, I don't have any other MaxTrax. The ones that are on the 80 are the only ones I have as far as 4 MaxTrax go. I have the old cheap ones that I bought off Amazon that I used to use on the Lexus. So I don't know if I'll take these off and put them on there or see. I don't know if they'll line up or not. It's a little windy out and it's pretty bright, but it's chilly, and that wind really brings in the chill. So I figured I'd just sit here on the tailgate of the 80, tell you a short little story about, so today is Saturday. Those of you who know, that follow the channel, Fridays and Saturdays are my days to do stuff, adventure, work in the garage, whatever. So yesterday on Friday, I decided, you know what? I'd like to take the 60 out, right? I like to take it out, like not just on test drives around the neighborhood, but take it up into the mountains, which I've got some mountains that aren't too far from me here. I actually got some seats, some Corbeau seats to put in. They were, it was cheaper to buy the set of seats and the seat brackets than it was just to buy the vinyl to upholster the 2 front seats. So I opted for those. They have a little bit more bolstering, like side to side. So I put in some new seats, put the fuel back in, and went for a drive around the neighborhood. And it took about 5 minutes before the fuel pump started screaming again. You know, I was chugging, but it was low on fuel. I only got about 3.5 gallons out of there in one can. So I'm like, you know what? This morning I went and filled up a 5-gallon can and put 5 more gallons in there, thinking that it would swish around and maybe that stuff would float on top like it did with the water. No, I think what's happening is where the suction is, it's inside a little tray. I think it just surrounds that thing. And this morning I went for a drive. I didn't even get up the end of the street and it was screaming, you know, from lack of suction. And it even was cutting out on me. So I parked it. And this stuff showed up, so I decided to come out here. I think my next step now that I put more fuel in, I've got to get all that fuel out, completely drop the tank out, work on it with it on the ground and not with it in the vehicle. And that'll be like my last effort on it. If I can't get it to work with that, then I'll have to buy a new tank. And just so you know, when all's said and done, between buying the tank, shipping the tank, and whatever else taxes, it's probably going to be $2,700. I think they want to charge like $300 or $400 in shipping to come from Northern California to here because of the size of the tank. So that was another thing I didn't want to do. Anyway, I'm gonna get to work on the Lexus. Been doing some work in my incredibly awesome mechanic shop here, my garage. I worked on the 60 like a week and a half ago. And I talked about it a little bit in some of the videos where I didn't have a lot of luck with the gas tank and I had some other ideas. Today, it's like I said, a week and a half later, I've been working on the Lexus at night, doing some stuff on the rear suspension a couple nights this week. And I got to a point where I needed some parts and the parts just arrived. It's late Saturday afternoon, about 3 o'clock. It's about 35 degrees out. It's sunny, but it's really cold. So earlier today, it's the third Thursday of the month, which is Coffee and Cruisers down at Method Coffee in Prescott. And last month, there was like nobody there. And I'm like, oh no, is no one going to come out because it's cold? Today, holy cow, the whole parking lot was jam-packed with some awesome, awesome vehicles. So I was over there. When I was over there, I asked some guys that had 60s there if they had turned in if they got their VIN number turned in on the recall on their tank. Because if they didn't, can I use their VIN number? But yeah, it was a no-go on that. So still going to be working on the 60. But these are the parts here that I actually was waiting on. So this is a what do you call it? Sway bar link kit extension. And funny enough, it's from Iron Man 4x4. So I've never used their stuff. I know that They're pretty popular. I see a lot of it. It's the ones with the green coils, Ironman 4x4. I don't know if they come out of Australia or what. Something like that. But the night I was doing all this stuff, like, wait a minute, this sway bar is not going to, one, reattach, two, it's not going to be able to flex, right, with the new setup. So I went upstairs, I shut everything down. I was pretty much done for the night anyway. I went upstairs, I did some more research on the parts that I bought. So I bought, like, shocks one time, then I bought coils one time, and then I got extended brake lines. They all were kind of supposed to be for this cool kit for the back of the Lexus. It's also kind of the same for FJ Cruisers and for third gen 4Runners, I think. So right in there it said, oh, and you'll end up getting this much travel without the sway bar connected. So that's their way of saying, good luck, you're on your own with the sway bar. So I'm going to get down here. It might be pretty dark down here. So the sway bar is right here, and it attaches right here. So my old Lynx, little fellas. So my old Lynx look like this, little fellas. And you can see that if this is here, it doesn't this has to be all the way up to there. So it would be angled back because the arc of the sway bar is back here. And here's the connection point. So it would have to angle, and there's no way that has, no way near. It's like 3 inches too short. So these I found online. You put in here, you can see right now, almost at the shortest thing, they're able to attach, but they're also can expand right here at this joint. So I thought, that's pretty cool. I saw that online. Ironman 4x4 USA, they have a store here in the United States, PayPal, and I think I got it in about 3 days. Pretty good. So what have I done back here? Well, I've had these icons for like 6 months. So I put on these icons. I've made my own cool custom mounting bracket up here. This is where the air tank used to be, because this used to run airbags from factory. So I got that mounted there, and I put some extra rubber on there so there's no way of chafing anywhere. These are 3-inch capable 2.5-inch remote reservoir icons. I've got the Metaltech 3-inch extended bump stop with the Timbren bump stop on here. So this is an aftermarket bump stop, Timbren. You have to do this because when you extend this travel, you need to limit it on its uptake, right? So if without this, you're going to mess up your shock. And I also got some Icon / Metaltech / Eibach custom springs in here. So if you see the gap of these springs where they're at now, I don't know if you'll be able to see up there, the gap gets tighter. So they're a dual rate coil. At the top, the coils are closer together, and they're like rated, say, I don't know, like 150, right? And then where the coils are traditionally spaced, they're rated like 300. So as you articulate down, that top part that's lighter opens up, and it keeps the coil nice and firmly up in the bucket. We'll see. It sounds good. I may need to adjust my track bar, but I got it back in. I had everything disconnected. And I sit right up in here where the spare tire is to work on it. So don't go underneath your car unless you have at least 6 jack stands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I have 6 jack stands. Working on this freezing cold concrete, it's not the most fun. But you can't mess with this area with the tires on. So I haven't actually put the wheels back on, which one's down there and one's on the other side of the 80. Right here, the 80. So that's what I'm doing. I like I said, the package just arrived. Thought I'd come out here. Thought I'd record a little bit. I wasn't planning on recording any of this stuff because it's really hard to see under here. But I figured maybe I could just kind of show you the highlights. I don't know if you know, but I already have Metaltech lower arms and Metaltech adjustable uppers. I did that a while back, and I think this is an Icon traction bar. It's got a nice kink up there, purpose built in. And in this, you just loosen these two jam nuts and you turn this collar, and that's how you can adjust it. It's a just on vehicle. You don't have to pull it off, which is kind of a nightmare. Because you got to get a ratchet strap and kind of pull your axle back centered to line the bolt back up. So I'm going to put these things on, see if they work. All right, so I got both sides on. Little locking thingy here. So my concern is I've got to kind of jack this up and down to see if it's going to hit anywhere. That was actually really, really easy to put on. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Here's the other side. Now on this side, I actually ran the reservoir back here. There was already a hole here that I could screw right in the bracket. So this reservoir, I haven't put the rubber on this side yet. Looking pretty good. Same setup over here. But these are nice. They're beefier than the ones I had on there, and they use a Heim down here instead of a ball joint.